Whitby, a seaside town in England. The name Whitby means something like the white place, and it is named like that because of the white chalky cliffs that you can find all across Whitby. These chalk deposits originated because 200 million years ago, in the Jurassic era, this wasn't a nice seaside town, this was a tropical sea in which terrible monsters swam. And that means that here in Whitby you can find fossils everywhere. Fossils of ammonites, fossils of belemnites, and even fossils of dinosaurs and their close relations. For example, people have found fossils of plesiosaurs and ichthyosaurs, and therefore the coast of Whitby is called the dinosaur coast. But it's not just fossils that you can go to Whitby for. Whitby is also famous for its jet, a mineral-like material that has been formed by exposing trees and fragments of trees to extremely high pressure. This results in a mineral so black that the actual phrase jet black derives from this mineral. If you're very lucky, you can find jet on the beaches here, just lying around. But if you want to make sure that it's jet you found and not coal, you need to determine its streak color. If you have a piece of sandpaper to hand and you scratch your piece of jet, you will get a distinct brown or gingerous color. That means it's jet. If you get a black streak, it was coal. You have to be quite lucky to find jet on the beaches of Whitby though. And even when you find it, it will not be the most high quality. And it definitely will not look like a gemstone, because incorporating the gemstone jet into jewels is a trade that has been going on in Whitby for centuries. So, Whitby is famous for its fossils, its jet, but it has more science connections, because the famous voyager and explorer Captain James Cook had his origins in Whitby. This is where he learned to sail, where he learned his craft before he would set off into the world and explore the seas. But apart from its many links with science and geology, Whitby is also a haven for literature. Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland, was a fan of Whitby. In fact, he used to stay here in this exact hotel that I'm in now. This was the place that he would go to if he wanted to stay in Whitby. At first he came here with his students because Lewis Carroll was actually a very gifted mathematician, and it has often been said that he was sad that his maths papers were not as well read as this silly story that he wrote about Alice in Wonderland. But the most famous literary connection that Whitby has must be Dracula. The Irish writer Bram Stoker was inspired by the dramatic scenery of Whitby Abbey and decided this is the place in England where Dracula must first set foot on land. After having lived for a while in Transylvania, Dracula follows Jonathan Harker to England. There is a boat, and the crewmen start to notice strange things. People get ill, some people die. Something strange is going on this ship, but no one knows exactly what. Then there is a big storm, and the ship washes up in Whitby, and it is a ghost ship. Nobody on board is alive. But before people find out that nobody on the ship is alive, they see a big black dog leaping off the ship, running into the night. And that is Dracula. Because in the original novel, the vampire Count Dracula is also a shapeshifter. And the dramatic surroundings of the abbey and the churchyard just below it inspired some of the greatest moments in Dracula, where Mina, Jonathan's wife, sees Lucy sleepwalking. She is just sitting there on a bench, but there is a strange shape huddled over her with a white face and red eyes, who quickly vanishes into the night. So this is Whitby, famous for its fossils, famous for its jet, famous for its literary connections, such as Dracula, who first set foot in England in Whitby. This is Whitby, where geology meets literature. We're going on an adventure! I did the YouTube thing, I already put the camera down. It's gonna be a great weekend.